Good morning. Now, the setting for today's gospel reading is the Last Supper, as recorded in the Gospel of John. Now, in the Last Supper in the Gospel of John is much different than the other three Gospels. John is the only one that mentions the fact that at the Last Supper, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. He never mentions the fact that Jesus took the bread and said, "Take and eat." Took the cup and said, "Take and drink from the cup." Now, if John was the only gospel in the Bible, every Sunday we would be washing the feet of one another. And there would be no breaking of the bread and no sharing of the cup. So thanks be to God, we have the other three Gospels. Now, at the Last Supper, in the Gospel of John, Jesus talks a lot. I mean, he talks a lot. He gives a number of long speeches and prays for his disciples. Did you know that the Last Supper in the Gospel of John spreads over 5 chapters? That's a quarter of the entire Gospel. A quarter of the entire Gospel is dedicated to the Last Supper. That's quite extraordinary. Now, in today's portion, we see that the disciples are distressed and troubled. Jesus has been speaking of going away, of being handed over, of being betrayed and denied by 2 of his closest friends, Judas and Peter. So obviously, the disciples are anxious and confused, afraid of what the future may bring. So today, we are at the beginning of chapter 14, after Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. And this is how this chapter begins. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God, have also faith in me." Powerful words. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Why is he saying this? Because they are troubled, big time. They do not know what to think about all of this. They do not understand. You get a sense of how troubled the waters are in the exchange between Jesus and Philip. John tells us that's how it went. Philip said to Jesus, "Master, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Jesus said to him, "Have I been with you for so long a time, and you still do not know me, Philip? Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? How many times do I have to tell you? One biblical scholar said that in the Gospel of John, the disciples are not the sharpest knives in the kitchen. They constantly misunderstand Jesus. We see it with Thomas, who is also filled in uncertainty. And he says, Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way? And Jesus responds, what do you mean you don't know? I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. Now, Jesus, on the other hand, in this whole situation, seems to be very confident that everything will work out for good. He has faith. Now, what is his secret? What is Jesus' secret in this situation? Jesus' power and his hope is hidden in the fact that he is in God and God is in him. He is in the Father and the Father is in him. John presents a Jesus who knows that with God he is safe. He knows that God will glorify him. He knows that God will save him. Did you notice that in the Gospel of John, there is no tears in the Garden of Gethsemane? There is confidence. There is conviction and faith. So for me, today's message from the Gospel can be wrapped up in two words. Have faith. Have faith. Faith, I believe, my friends, has a power to lead us through any desert. Faith can be very powerful. Along the journey of our faith, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And to quote a well-known song, Jesus is the bridge over troubled water. The bridge over troubled water. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. I'm on your side. When times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. That's exactly what Jesus is saying in his own way to the disciples. I will lay me down. I am the way over the troubled water. Do not let your hearts be troubled.